Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Namaste Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamini Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Prachadini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyat Desitarini Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So today we are discussing from Srimad Bhagavad Gita, first chapter and verse number 32, 33, 34 and 35. So last time we discussed verse number 31. In this verse, Arjuna, after becoming affected by bodily consciousness, when he started identifying with his friends and relatives who were standing in front of him with a fighting spirit. In the verse number 30, 28, Arjuna says, Yuyutsum samupasthitam drishtva imam swajanam Krishna Yuyutsum samupasthitam sidanti mama gatrani mukham cha parishusyati. That, my dear Krishna, after seeing my friends and relatives who are standing in front of me in the fighting spirit, in the spirit of fighting, they are standing. So in this spirit, I am seeing, and this is Sidanti Mama Gatran, it's Mukham Cha Parishusyati. So these symptoms he started feeling as soon as he saw that his relatives are standing with complete preparation, with full spirit of fighting. And he started explaining Krishna that Nachasrevanu Pashyami Hatva Sujanama, that I do not see anything good can happen by killing Swajanam, my own relatives. How I can expect any good to happen if I kill my own friends and relatives in this battlefield? So that's why na Kamsha Vijayam Krishna. I do not desire this victory also. So this was the second reason Arjuna mentioned. First reason that he felt excessive attachment for his relatives. Swajanam. In the verse number 28, he started explaining the reasons why he can't fight. So the very first reason he told that Swajanam, that I am very attached. He was very attached to his friends and relatives. Now he's giving the another reason that even if I think, okay, I will tolerate, these are my relatives. If you say that this is your dharma, duty, okay, but dharma or duty should be executed in order to get happiness. That is the purpose of executing dharma. So Arjuna is calculating in that way. And most of the people in this world, whatever activities or duties or dharma they perform, they do it keeping the happiness goal as happiness as the goal in the mind. They keep this thing. Everyone performs work in order to get some benefit. That is what is actually dharma, artha, kama, moksha. One performs any kind of dharma or material duties in order to get some kind of happiness, desires to get fulfilled. Similarly, Arjuna is also giving second reason based on this idea that, my dear Krishna, ultimately the purpose of doing any kind of dharma is that should enable us to become happy in life. So even if you think that this is my dharma, if I perform this dharma, nacha rajyam sukhani sha, there will be no happiness. So what is the use of killing my own relatives? And then the same reason, there will be no happiness, is explaining in these four verses, which we are going to read today. किं नु राज्येन गोविन्द किं भोगैर्जीवितेन वा येषामर्थे काङ्क्षितं नो राज्यं भोगा सुखानि च तायिमे अवस्थिता युद्धे प्राणां त्यक्त्वा धनानि च आचार्या पितरा पुत्रास्तथैव च पितामहः मातुला स्वसुरा पौत्रा च्याला सम्बन्धिनस्तथा एतान्न हन्तुमिच्छामि घनतोऽपि मधुसूदन अयि अपि त्रैलोक्यराज्यस्य हेतो किं नु मही कृते निहत्या धार्तराष्ट्रान्न का प्रीतिः स्यात् जनार्दन. So in this way, he mentioned all the relatives who are present and what will be the result if I kill them. And finally, he questions Lord Krishna. Ka priti sa Janardana, oh my dear Janardana Krishna, what happiness, what pleasure will you get or will we get? Will I get? Ka? Na means he is using the word na means ourself. And that means he is including Krishna also. He is telling that, my dear Krishna, what kind of pleasure you will and I will get by killing all these relatives in this battle. What will be the use? The translation is like this. Oh Govinda, what avail to us are a kingdom? Means what will be the value of a kingdom for us, for me as well as you also? Huh? So what avail to us are a kingdom, happiness, or even life itself when all those for whom we may desire them are now arrayed on this battlefield. O Madhusudan, when teachers, fathers, sons, grandfathers, maternal uncles, fathers-in-law, grandsons, brothers-in-law, and other relatives are ready to give up their lives and properties and are standing before me, why should I wish to kill them even though they might otherwise kill me? O maintainer of all living entities, I am not prepared to fight with them even in exchange for the three worlds, let alone this earth. What pleasure will we derive from killing the sons of Dhritarashtra? That Arjuna is not giving just his reason. He is trying to convince Krishna that, my dear Krishna, what pleasure you will get. I will also not get pleasure, any happiness. But how can you also get any kind of pleasure or happiness? There will be no pleasure or happiness by killing the sons of Dhritarashtra. So one very important Arjuna is mentioning, Kimno Rajyena Govinda means what is the use of Rajya? Kim Bhogair Jivitena Va. And what is the use of all kinds of facilities for sense enjoyment? Bhogar means sense enjoyment facility. And Jivitena Va. What to speak of facility for sense enjoyment? Even life itself, what will be the use of life itself? If yesham arthe kangshitam no rajyam bhoga sukhani cha. Because if those people, yesham arthe means for those people with whom we are supposed to live and with whom we are supposed to enjoy various kinds of sense gratification, opulences, kingdom, all these relatives. Kangshitam means they all are desirable. So this is the idea of material sense enjoyment, happiness. Material happiness is based on this principle that one tries to satisfy his own senses, and then extended form of this happiness lies in the satisfaction of the senses of others who are related with us in family bond. So this is the expansion of this principle of material sense gratification. So everyone in this world is working on the principle of this idea that I should be satisfied, my senses should get full satisfaction, happiness, all the facilities, as well as my relatives and friends, family members, they should also get all the opportunity to enjoy sense gratification. If this is done, then I am happy. This is the idea of happiness of a person who is working on the platform of bodily consciousness. Means one who is illusioned with the idea that I am this body. So as soon as one thinks that he is body, then immediately all this planning starts, and to make himself happy, and to make his relatives and friends who are connected with the body happy, the person is waste entire of his life just to give them happiness facilities, and he is completely in this consciousness that my life is meant for giving sense enjoyment and pleasure to my friends and relatives. This idea he lives in this world. That is what is the meaning. Esham arthe kankshitam. No. Kankshitam is for whom we desire to live. Rajyam kim bhoga jivitenava. Otherwise, what is the use of bhoga? Different kinds of sense enjoyment. And what is the use of life itself? What is the use of life? What is the use of living? That's why those persons who are too much bodily engrossed, so those who are in the bodily consciousness of life, they sacrifice their time, energy, and everything for for the service of the senses of their friends and relatives, family members. And if they cannot recognize his efforts and sacrifice, then such a person thinks that what is the use of my life? Uh, and then he starts planning that, but it's better to commit suicide, and he goes into great depression because of this misconception of thinking that my life, my time, energy, and resources, everything is meant for satisfying the senses of my friends and relatives. And actually, it is so. Our life, mind, senses, energy, everything is meant for satisfying somebody. But that somebody is the Supreme Lord Krishna. When one forgets this, and instead of sacrificing ourselves, our energy, time, money, and everything for the satisfaction of the Supreme Lord Krishna, one who is illusioned with this idea that all these friends and relatives belong to me and I belong to them. Then, instead of sacrificing himself to the cause of the Supreme Lord Krishna, he sacrifices himself for the cause of his friends and relatives. And in this way, the ultimate result is only dissatisfaction, unhappiness, and frustration. And in this way, his entire life goes into vain, life is wasted. And at the end of life, as soon as he reaches the end of life, he feels utter dissatisfaction, and because of this dissatisfaction, again there is a sense of great attachment in order to fulfill the desires again. So that makes him come again in this material. That's why he is again forced to come in this world, so that he can fulfill his desire to satisfy the demands of his friends and relatives. So on the other hand, a person who identifies in true sense that I am an eternal servant of Krishna, and his only business is serve Krishna, dedicate my life, my energy, time, sacrifice everything for the cause of the Supreme Lord. So one who does like this, the Supreme Lord becomes satisfied with his effort, and in this way the person also becomes fully satisfied. And at the time of death, he is completely free from all kinds of attachment, and he very peacefully and nicely, blissfully, he leaves the body, never to come back again in this material world. He joins the company of the Supreme Lord in the spiritual world. So this is the science how one can free oneself from the bondage of material existence. That will be explained later in the Bhagavad Gita. But in the context of Arjuna's falling in the illusion of material consciousness, we just discussed about this fact also. So Arjuna is thinking like this: what will be the use if my all those friends and relatives with whom I am supposed to share my sense gratification business opulences, if they are not alive, then what is the use? Everything is then finished. Huh? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu prayed, Govinda Virahena Jagat Sunyam. Sunyayitam Jagat Sarvam Govinda Virahena. On the other hand, the person who is afflicted with this bodily consciousness, he also feels that. Jagat Sunyam, my wife Virahena me, my son Virahena me, my friends and relatives Virahena me. It happens. Have you observed? This happens when a person who has not developed sense of Krishna consciousness, if he loses some of the relatives, especially wife or children or parents who are very very close relatives, then he feels like this, that everything shunya, everything has become shunya, null and void, just like a pure devotee of Krishna. And when he doesn't get the opportunity to serve the Supreme Lord, he feels that everything is empty, everything is finished now. So what is the use? A devotee who is in full understanding that I am Krishna's servant, if he loses everything, but he only gets the service of the Supreme Lord, he feels that I got everything. Just like Srila Prabhupada, he had a good business and he lost the business. His factory was burnt, money was stolen, and his relatives, his wife and children, they did not support him much in the for the purpose of executing Krishna consciousness preaching program. So there was no support financially and relatives also. But Srila Prabhupada, he didn't feel that I lost everything, shunyaitam, no. Because he got the opportunity to serve Krishna by the mercy of his spiritual master, he got such a wonderful divine engagement uh, that he got this opportunity to preach Krishna consciousness. So he was laughing, he was very happy, he was very blissful. When he lost everything, he lost his business, factory, everything, and he left his family members also. He took Vanaparas ashram, and later on, after a few years, he took sannyas. So he was fully blissful in the heart. And when he went to USA, and established ISKCON society, thousands of disciples were there. So Srila Prabhupada explains in one of the lectures, out of humility, although he did not feel like that, but he was just to encourage his disciple. He was explaining to his disciples that when my Guru Maharaj was forcing me to take sannyas and leave family and all this material business and go and preach for Krishna, then I was thinking, oh, I am an old man, who will take care of me if I leave my children, my wife and children and relatives, who will take care of them? So I was thinking like this, who will take care of me? I will be alone. I am an old man. But by Krishna's grace, now I have got thousands of children who are so nicely taking care of me that even my real children, they cannot take care of me like this. So Srila Prabhupada was so that is this is the position of a devotee who is established in this consciousness, this fact that actually I belong to Krishna and actually Krishna is my real relative. I have eternal connection with the Supreme Lord. So even if in the family, if even if he is living in the family life, and sometimes if in the life some things up and down will always go on, this will keep going because this material body itself is temporary. This is no longer is going to remain like this young forever. Over the period of time, after 10, 15, 20 years, this material body will become old, our relatives will become old. Some of the older relatives they will leave their bodies. So one who is not a devotee, he gets affected a lot, and he feels that everything is finished now from my life. But a devotee, he understands very well that this is what the way of material life is, and so he doesn't get affected, and he remains established in the service of the Supreme Lord. But Arjuna's condition is different. He is materially affected. So he's feeling like this. And he's thinking, Tai me avastita yuddhe, pranam sakta dhanani cha. So Arjuna, he is very much depressed and very much anxious to see all those relatives who have come. But he is also very much astonished also. He's feeling very wonderful that all these relatives, they have avasthita yuddhe, they are prepared to fight, they are prepared to lay down their life just for the sake of dhanani, just for the sake of this kingdom. How can they do like this? But my dear Krishna, I cannot do this. Please don't force me. Because Krishna might object, you are thinking so much about your relatives. You are telling that these relatives, they are your relatives. How can you kill them just for the sake of getting some material wealth and sense enjoyment? But no, but no, it's not like that. You should also think that they should also have considered these points. They also know that you are their relative, but they have assembled in the battlefield. They are willing to fight for the purpose of acquiring some kingdom, dhan, wealth. So you should, why you should be denying? You should also fight. That's why Arjuna is telling in this verse that although it is a great wonder, my dear Krishna, although they are prepared to fight just for the sake of getting some kingdom, but how can I fight? This is not possible for me because these are my. He's mentioning the names of the relatives. Acharya, just see, Dronacharya is standing. How can I fight with him? Even if he is affected with this consciousness that he wants to satisfy Bhishma, and Dhritarashtra, Kaurava, so that he may remain uh, in this military school as a professor. Uh, but I cannot do this. So Acharya, Pitra, the fathers, uncles were there. Putras, the sons. Tathaiva cha pitamaha. Tatha eva cha pitamaha. Even if Pitamaha is also there, Bhishma Pitamaha is also very much willing to fight for the sake of getting the kingdom, but still I cannot fight. Matula Sasura Potra. Matula means maternal uncle, mama. Sasura means Sasur. Sasur, Sasura, and Potra means grandsons. Syala means Sala, uh, the brother of a wife. Syala. Sambandhinas Tatha, and there are many other relatives. Ganatovapi Madhusudana. He is telling, even if they are willing to fight for the sake of acquiring this kingdom, and even if they kill me, Ganatovapi Madhusudana means even if Nihatta means I am unarmed, means I will not fight, I just stand there, even if they come and just kill me. Although, even if they kill me, I will not lift my weapon. That was his determination. Let them kill me. Huh? Etan nahantum ichhami ghanato api madhusudana. All these relatives, nahantum ichhami. I do not desire to kill them, punish them. Ghanato api madhusudana, even if they kill me. Api Trailokya Rajyasya, what to speak of this Hastinapur, this Rajya of this earthly planet. Api Trailokya means entire all the three lokas. Even if after fighting this battlefield, if I get the Swarga Loka and Patal Loka and this Prithvi Loka, all the three lokas are also given, uh, still I will not fight. I will not accept this. Hetu Kimnu Mahikrite, what to speak of Mahikrite, this earthly planet. So, so according to my opinion, Nihatya Adharta Rashtrana Kapriti Janardana. And means that's why Nihatya Dhartarashtrana, to kill the sons of Dhritarashtra, what kind of preeti, pleasure will get Janardana? What kind of preeti we will get? What kind of pleasure you will get, Krishna? You are Janardana. Is Arjuna is addressing Krishna as Janardana. Janardana means maintainer of the living entities. So you are supposed to maintain all the living entities. How can you inspire me to kill the living, all these living entities? You are Janardhan. You are well-wisher and maintainer of all the living entities. So how can you propose such a fight in which all these friends and relatives will be killed? Because Krishna, Arjuna might think that Krishna will say, no, no, dharma is important. Don't consider about the relatives and friends. But okay, the purpose of dharma is to maintain the living entities. And you are Janardhan. So what pleasure you will get? Okay, forget about me. But what kind of pleasure you will get by killing all, by supporting to kill all these relatives? So this is not at all desirable. In this way, Arjuna is um, objecting, giving the second reason in great detail why he should not fight. Okay, so we have only 5 minutes. We'll stop here. Thank you very much. If there are any questions, you can ask. Hare Krishna.